What's up, YouTube? MaNiaC here, and today I am in my hometown. I just flew back here it's like 2 nights ago, but like technically yesterday. I got here really late, not last night, but the night before. And then yesterday, spent the day with my family for Thanksgiving, and then today, I'm up super early because I pulled an all-nighter, and I decided I'm gonna take you guys with me on a journey of reliving my past. Literally gonna go from house to my mom's side, to my dad's side, and pretty much relive my life. So if you're interested, come along with me. Born August 15th, 1991 in the Hagerstown hospital. I believe it was like 5 in the morning-ish. And then I was here. I'm not parked too well right now, but I'll get out. I hope I don't lock myself in or out. So I was born in Hagerstown, and then I was taken back to this house right here in Funkstown, Maryland. Gonna try not to be too sketchy, because if you wake up at 7 a.m. and you see someone outside your house just recording, you might freak the fuck out. But this was my home. You guys got a little shot of it. Now I'm just gonna tell a quick story. Well, actually back there, we had a trampoline in the backyard. Our neighbor down here, right at this house, I had a few friends on this block, lived in this house. I actually went to this neighbor's house right here, just because this is a story I remember. I was knocking on their door. Hey, what was his fucking name? It was something weird. It might have been like Parker or something, but I was knocking on that door right there, and I was like 5. And as soon as I was knocking, I got stung by a bee. I started screaming, crying, ran up the block, ran back to my home. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make it as little weird as possible, but this was the house that I grew up in. Now, I probably lived in that house until, I forget the exact age, it was like 5, 6, 7, something like that. Oh, cool. Ride by and rev your fucking motor. I lived here till I was about 5, 6, 7, something like that. I don't remember exactly what age my parents, because I was so young, I don't remember exactly. I think I was like 3 whenever my parents got divorced, but yeah. So I was living in that house with my mom and dad for a while, then they got a divorce, and then it was just my mom. And then here is when my mom met someone else and moved there, I think around like 7 or 8. We're gonna head there now, over in Falling Waters, West Virginia. Man, this shit got litty titty since I left. I don't remember any of that shit, but I do remember this every day. Dude, this road, it almost looks like well, I guess we are in West Virginia, but it's not really what the neighborhood looks like. We'll be out of here shortly. Here we go. Civilization? Is that you? And here's my old neighborhood. Oh man, I'm nervous. This is the 2nd, maybe 3rd time, Spring Mill Farms, that I've been here, and probably, how long? 6, probably, I've been here 2 or 3 times in 13 years. This is weird. That house right there, we had a pool. Now I'm not gonna really stop in front of this house, but here, that house right there is the house I lived in. I don't really want to get out. We had a pretty big yard. We had a pool in the back. This is where I lived for like my late elementary, middle school, and early high school years. This was my childhood right here, this neighborhood. This right here, this house, we used to play football in that field right there. Get into fights and all sorts of stuff that you do as a kid. Long story short, us and my stepdad then didn't have the best relationship. He was good at heart. He just wasn't good at showing it. You know, like he took me to football practice, was there for every game, you know, supported the family financially, you know, did all that stuff. But when it just came down to his attitude and his way of talking to us and his tone and his aggressiveness and stuff like that, it just it wasn't good. It was I don't want to use the word abusive. He never hit us, never hit my mom, but it was just very toxic. Just very toxic and almost like bipolar. When things just didn't need to be argued about, they were argued about, and it was just, you know, it's like could hardly get through helping me with my homework without. It wasn't really an argument. It was more like yelling, and like without me like crying. So one day when I might have to talk to my mom about some of this stuff. I'm gonna say it, and some stuff that she might want left out, I'll leave out. But long story short, my mother came into our room one day and said she can't take it anymore. And, you know, we couldn't really take it either. We were, you know, fed up, I guess. And she came in and said, we're gonna leave tomorrow. And that's what we did. He left for work. We got everyone in the family to come over and help us pack quick, packed up, left, and I haven't seen him since. It's not to say he was a terrible person, because he wasn't. But I just, I don't know. It's very, very weird. It was a very strange thing. It's not something that typically happens, I think, to just walk up and get out of a certain situation you know you shouldn't be in. But I give my mom props, because that was probably the hardest decision of her life, and I think it was the best decision she ever made, because she got away from that, and I believe they're still friends to this day. You know, he was aware of, I'm gonna get out of here, I don't want to be like creeping people out and someone walk up to me. He was aware of the problem, and they came to an understanding eventually, and I think they're friends now. I haven't seen him since, my brother hasn't seen him since. But yeah, me and my brother lived there for our childhoods. This is the neighborhood, pretty much knew everyone back here. To get off that, it's just a really weird situation, but I gotta give it to my mom. That was the hardest decision I think she's probably ever made. I can't really speak for her, but in my opinion, from what I've seen out of her, very glad that she did do that, because I don't know what else we would have done. And then she ended up meeting who I think is the best person she possibly could have met for her, and who she's married to right now. But yeah, this is the neighborhood. Pretty nice houses. I knew, what happened to these days, man? What happened to the days of having a neighborhood? Like, I knew those guys back there, Mark and Ryan. They kind of pissed everyone off, but this guy right here, Logan, I remember Meredith lived there. She was pretty hot. Down there lived my friend Ben. You can kind of see woods back there. We'd go in the woods, just fucking hit shit with sticks. Right down here lived my friend, other childhood best friend, James. This was, I don't know if you guys give a fuck. This was my other friend, Jonathan. Like, what happened? Can someone, like, does this still exist? do people still have like neighborhoods and like friends in their neighborhoods? And I remember I was talking to Hitch and we were like, or Hitch said something and I was fucking dying laughing. He said, do you remember going to your friend's house and, or no, he said, did you ever go to your friend's house and knock on their door? What happened to those days? And that's so true. Like, you didn't have cell phones. I'd never really used the house phone as a kid. You would just go to your friend's house, show up, knock on the door. Let's go down, and after this, I'll take you to my school. But let's go down here. This is another neighborhood. Dude, there were so many. This was life. This was fucking Twitter in real life. Like, just kids everywhere. And you would hang out and be outside. We used to come down here. I remember my bus dropped people off after this stop. And right here we dropped kids off. And this kid that was waiting to get that was getting off, there were kids waiting for him to fight him. And right when we dropped them off, they started fighting. Bus driver just pulled off and acted like she didn't see nothing. I remember we'd come here trick-or-treating. This is like there's like a shit ton of houses around here. Okay, now I'm confused. Because pretty sure my friend had a house right here. And it's fucking gone. How does that house just disappear? There's like yellow tape and shit. Where'd the house go? Also, a very important part was that last house was when I first got an Xbox and started. See, my stepdad never let me play video games either. So, like, literally when I would get home, I would have to go outside until dark. That might be why whenever we moved, I did not go outside after that. I loved staying inside and playing video games. But here we are. Actually, I'm gonna just pull. And here is Hedgesville Middle School. These basketball courts out here, oh, these are legendary. I remember my friend showing me his first girlfriend out here. My best friend, Eric, showed me his first girlfriend out here. Then I was like, oh shit, we're liking girls now. Played basketball here, always entered in those back doors. I think that door, or maybe it's that door, there was a wood shop class. I don't know, I just remember being bad as fuck in that class. In case you guys can't tell, because I'm definitely more chill now, I was kind of considered an ADHD kid, and I was very bad. Not even that ADHD has anything to do with it. Well, I guess it kind of does. Some people will hear that and think trouble kid in school or something. That's just, I guess, the stereotype of it. Maybe not, but I definitely was. I was not good in school. I'd always get in trouble, especially in 5th grade to 10th grade. 5th grade to 10th grade, I got in a lot of trouble. Currently at Hedgesville High School is the high school I went to in 9th grade. I also went to Hedgesville Middle School. Dude, now that I think about it, the school systems are weird. Yeah, here, I don't even remember like walking in those doors. I actually only went here 1 year. The other 3 years of my high school were at South Hagerstown High School, which is where we're gonna go next. All right, this house right here is the house we moved to from the Spring Mill Farms house with my ex-stepdad. We moved from there, packed our shit, and then we hopped into this house right here. This was my grandfather's house, and after he passed away, the family just kind of owned it and, you know, didn't sell it or anything immediately. It might have been up for sale, just not sold yet. But it was pretty much like, I guess if someone needed it, they could use it, and well, we needed it. It was still furnished and all that stuff. So after we decided to leave my ex-stepdad for lamer terms, we moved into that house right there. Now it has like a green color to it. It's kind of interesting, but that's where I lived. This is kind of near, this isn't a bad area to live, but it wasn't the best area to live because, I guess some would say it's right near the hood. One of the worst streets, if not the worst street, at least that I know about, Jonathan Street, was just right up the block, and I'll show you here in a second. I used to come out the house, come to the end of the block to get picked up by the school bus. I'd walk down, I believe the school bus picked us up, it was like around there, or it might have been like a little down here, or it might have been like around there. But as you can tell, we're getting right into, this is just right up the road into more of the city, the inner city. This is where Jonathan Street, West Side Avenue, I guess a lot of the crime and shit like that would go down in this part. This street right here that I'm on isn't bad. It's more of when you get into down in those areas. Was that Jonathan Street that I just passed? But it's more of when you get down into those streets and stuff like that. And so I lived right beside the city, or the inner city of Hagerstown. I'm gonna show you guys the infamous place of where I'd get my hair cut. Wow, that house is interesting color. All right, this spot right here, right on the corner to the left, is where I always got my hair cut. New Beginnings. Oh, I guess it's closed today. New Beginning Salon. This should literally be in a movie. Just perfectly on the corner. It was at that little building right there, but it got moved to a nicer place. It's pretty nice inside. Some dope barbers, and that is where the good haircuts began. Right? Oh wait, I get fucking verbally abused half the time. Right now we are on the famous Hagerstown dual highway. Right here, actually, House of Kobe was a nice little Japanese restaurant. I actually took my girlfriend on our first date too. We had a really good relationship, a lot of good times, and until she threw it all away. I hope it was worth it, you fucking bitch! I'm just kidding, I'm totally kidding. I did not get cheated on, she did not cheat on me. Holy shit. We had a good relationship, we are still friends to this day. And here we are. I only lived in that last house for, I don't even know how long. Not very long, but then I moved here to Rosewood Village. Am I about to see someone I fucking know? All right, I lived in that house right there. Just a little townhome. My mom, when we moved, in order to get that house, she started working 2 jobs, and this is all while, you know, trying to pay for college and all that stuff. And she did a lot to make it work for our family. So in that home right here, it was, in my room actually was that balcony right there. Actually, that pissed me off because my friends would stand out here and throw rocks at my fucking door up there to wake me up. But cool little balcony. What's fucking crazy is I live right there, and then this little kid lived like right here. I think I was like 15 to like 17 there. Then this little kid lived here. He was probably like 13. He was like, I guess you could say, the low homie. And then some of my other friends lived back there. We'd play basketball and shit. But he was like the low homie of everyone. And a friend who lived back there was just like a year or two younger than me. I still talk to him every now and then to this day. But the person who lived in that corner, the low homie, is, I saw in the paper or something that he is being charged for murder against someone. Like I don't know the details whatsoever. I was just my friend sent me the article, but I was like, Jesus Christ. From seeing him at like 13 to then seeing that article where he was probably 17 or 18, maybe 19 at the oldest, to now being charged with murder or, you know, allegedly. I don't fucking know anything about it. My friend sent me that article, and it was hard to believe, because the last time I saw him, he's just this little kid, and then shit's crazy. Woo! South Hagerstown High School, where I graduated, where that's about all I did here. The famous place that made me the man I am today. This is the place where I'd show up late. What else did I do here? This is the place where I rode the bench on the basketball team. This is the place where I made my last few real life friends. And that building, I would cheer on my teammates in the gymnasium. In that building, I would run fucking fourth period or whatever period gym was, because I was king handles. They called me hot sauce. I've lost every ounce of skill that I once had, but this is it. This was the spot. I wish I didn't have stipulations on things you can talk about, sorta. You know, sometimes you gotta protect your brand. But this is where shit went down. I'm older, I'm wiser. Steps to the life, people. Why am I'm talking like Crim 6 right now. I need to stop. Here at the back of the school. I'll show you in a sec. Let me show y'all what I'm working with, what I'm rocking. This is the car I rented, 2016 Mazda. You know, gotta show off the rented car, because we all know I don't have one of my own. Seriously, renting this car made me want to, it's a nice car. It ain't no everyone else's car at the Optic House, but it's a pretty nice car, and it makes me want to get one of my own. I don't think people understand that Hex literally doesn't want another car there. Our driveway fucking blows. It sucks for pulling in and out. People are always driving in and out of the grass, fucks up the yard, and it's just, seeing as I work from home, I don't necessarily need one, but enough of that. We were at the back. I don't even know why I'm walking over here. I didn't want to walk here. But this is in the back. Buses would pull in. Right there is where everyone would stand for the bus. That's where you'd hit on girls and stuff like that. Out there's like a little park. Then we got the football field. Let's go on the field and pretend like we played and we're reminiscing. Blue, what it do? Set. Ah, shit. Luxury. Marked. Hey, Dad. So this is it, huh? This is where I finished my school days. Not specifically here, I just mean as far as school, this is where I ended up and graduated. I don't think I ever sat in these bleachers, to be honest. Never attended a football game because I was playing Halo at any spare chance I got, I was playing Halo. But yeah, this is where I went to school. You know, after this, it was just community college for a little bit. Kind of on and off, not doing so well. And I stopped going there. Just got a job at a Food Line, which is now Shop and Save or something like that. And pretty much spent my time at home and was a professional gamer. Wasn't sure what I was gonna do in my life. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do or how it's gonna pan out, but I'm not really gonna worry about it. Just as long as I apply myself into certain areas that I'm interested, I know something's gonna work out. My battery is gonna die soon, so I'm gonna wrap the video up here, guys. This is my life. I've taken you pretty much everywhere. I think besides the elementary school that I went to from like 1st to 3rd grade, I think you've seen it all. You lived my life. You can now say you've lived twice. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Just figured, you know, you've pretty much seen me doing everything else. Might as well show you everything I've done up to this point. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it was a little entertaining. Give you some knowledge about myself, how I grew up, stuff like that. But alright, thank you all for watching. What's my fucking thing? As always, like, comment, subscribe, really does help the channel grow. Peace out. Dude, it's not even Food Line anymore. The disrespect doesn't even deserve time on the cam. I'm out.